Kiwanis International is a global organization of members dedicated to serving the children of the world. This year's International Kiwanis Convention took place in Geneva, Switzerland. Those attending the convention were able to arrive by public transportation once they got there through planes, trains, automobiles, and boats. The convention itself was held at a facility called the PAL Expo. It is attached to the Geneva airport, making it very convenient. Through these doors, we began our registration process for gathering our convention materials. Just before we were to go in to register, there were many people outside already beginning the campaigning process. Once inside those doors, we're able to register, meet new friends, and find some old friends, including our current Cal-Neva governor, Tom. Once you were all registered, you could head on upstairs, and right at the top of the stairs was the exhibit hall where you can find out information about Kiwanis projects. And here was also Sylvester Neal getting ready to welcome us to the 96th Annual International Kiwanis Convention, which was taking place on Thursday afternoon. Inside the convention hall, people were getting ready for the talk by our International Kiwanis president, Sylvester Neal. This year's theme from Mr. Neal is getting fired up, and his opening presentation had lots of fireworks in it. It was beautiful. And Sylvester spoke to us for a while, and then he introduced us to our keynote speaker, who this year was Jane Goodall. She is a British primatologist and UN Messenger of Peace. She is known for her extensive work with chimpanzees in Tanzania and currently has a Roots and Shoots program about making positive change happen for people, animals, and the environment through service learning projects, very similar to Kiwanis. The next morning, we were all invited to our district caucus for California, Hawaii, Nevada to talk about which candidates our folks had taken a look at to determine which ones would be very good for next year. And here you see Governor Tom, our upcoming governor, sitting right next to him, our trustee, and this is actually Peter Horton, who was our secretary for Cal-Neva district. Lots of campaigning going on, including for international vice president, our international trustees, and our international trustee at large. You can see in the next slide here people campaigning for Günter Gaster, who is from the Austria district, and he actually spoke with us along with the other candidates. He's from Austria, hence the costumes that you see here. In this next photo coming up, take a close look. One of the trustees at large is actually Clinton Green, who is from New Zealand. And he actually did win. He was a great speaker. At the convention, in addition to voting, we also got to attend sessions. This one was on marketing, how to market your club, understanding what all that meant. Some very good information. And we did begin the afternoon sessions with the introductions to some of the business aspect of Kiwanis International, and our international president, Sylvester Neal, welcomed us. And as we sat there, we were able to hear some of the good works that had gone on this year and what the intentions were for next year. Our International Kiwanis Foundation president, Jack Harton, spoke to us about the mission of our foundation, which of course is to work with protecting the children of the world. We continued that project with the Eliminate project that I'll discuss a little bit later. This is a very nice quote from Margaret Mead: "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." We also had a talk from Paul Palazzo, who was our immediate past international president. And an introduction to Alan Penn, who is our upcoming 2011-2012 Kiwanis International President. During our lunch, I was sitting with a table of fellow California, Hawaii, Nevada Kiwanians. Being that food was quite expensive, as you mentioned, I thought that at this point, taking a picture of the food was appropriate. The keynote speaker at our meeting discussed the Kiwanis Eliminate project, and I wanted to tell you a little bit of facts about that project. The project has to do with raising $110 million over the next 5 years, and that is intended to make sure that we get involved with saving additional children and mothers from maternal and neonatal tetanus. One baby dies every 9 minutes from tetanus. 160 babies die each day from tetanus. Maternal and neonatal tetanus has been eliminated from 20 countries in the world since 2000, the year 2000. We are working very hard on that project. 3 doses of tetanus vaccine will protect the baby and the mom from tetanus. In the afternoon after our luncheon, we actually did vote for our upcoming international vice president and also the international trustees. So our international vice president, candidate seen here, Gunter Gasser, he won the election and he will be our president in a few years. One of our international trustees that also got elected is Jane Erickson, and word is that she could potentially be the first woman to be president of International Kiwanis. And some board members sitting right there in the audience, along with all the other members, including me, who would be voting that day. And here is the next day at our keynote speaker, our closing session speaker, rather, is Jamie Lee Curtis. As you know, Jamie Lee Curtis is an American actress and activist, and she spoke to us on living wisely and loving well. She was very motivational and was a perfect way to conclude our 96th annual International Kiwanis Convention in Geneva, Switzerland. Next year, the International Kiwanis Convention will take place in New Orleans. The idea is stimulate your senses, indulge in the European flavor of New Orleans, experience a history as colorful as the architecture, hear music come to life on the streets and the birthplace of jazz. And the International Kiwanis Convention takes place June 28th through July 1st, 2012. See you there.